How to price your PPVs on OnlyFans. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today we are going over PPVs. Some of you may know what it is. Some of you may not know what it is. So we are going to be going over from soup to nuts, exactly what they are, how you should be pricing them, the duration of your PPVs in terms of the pricing as well, when you should be sending them out, kind of some content ideas for that. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe down below, or at least just give the video a thumbs up, as it absolutely helps the channel so I can continue to make as much useful information and content for you as possible. And if you are looking to grow your OF biz, reach out to me on IG. That direct link is in the video description down below. I have so many services to help you grow your business. And I am recently just getting in the starting phase and stage of my coaching course. Okay. So this is going to be such a huge course with so much information that I go over in my one-to-one coaching and mentoring for a fraction of the price. So make sure you are always looking in the links down below, because it is going to be released soon. And you guys really want to get on board with that if you are actually serious about making money on OF. Now let's get into it. What are PPVs? So a lot of people don't even know what PPVs are, but they kind of heard the lingo. So PPVs are pay per view content, which means that this is not content for free on your wall. This is locked content that you would have locked on your wall only if you have a free page, or it's locked content in your DMs and or even your welcome message. So anything that they have to pay to view is a PPV. And PPVs are a great extra way. There is actually 12 different ways to make money on OF. That is what I go over in my coaching and what's going to be in the course. So again, make sure you guys get into that course once it's launched. It's going to be amazing. But PPVs is one of the dozen ways that you can make money on OF outside of a subscription price. So you really want to be diversifying all of the ways that you are making extra money on your OF, because the real way that we high earning models make money on OF is not with a $5 or $10 subscription price. It's with everything else that we do on the platform. And PPVs is one of them. For many of you, you may not even know that you are able to send out mass DMs. Now, I understand that many of you probably do know that, but I cannot tell you how many of my one-to-one coaching clients, we hop on a call, I start giving them all the information, I say mass DMs, and they say, what? So that is something that I really want to make sure you understand you have the capabilities for this. Now, with mass DMs, you are literally sending one DM masked message to everybody, but everyone gets it separately. So a very big tip, guys, you are not going to send out mass DMs and it's going to be, hey guys, how are you, loves? It is as if you are speaking with one fan, okay? Because each fan is going to be getting these messages individually. So this is the number one way that you are going to be sending out these PPVs to make that extra money, okay? So the mass DM is going to be what? The PPV is going to be of what? What kind of content? So that content is literally and strictly up to you. It is your page. It is your content. It is your business. So you decide what you deem as exclusive content. But PPVs are exclusive, strictly exclusive content, which means what? They're not going to find it in your welcome message. They're not going to find it on a locked post if you have a free page, and they're not going to find it on your regular wall posts if you have a paid page. This is strictly exclusive content that you have made to sell for an extra price in your DMs, okay? So you're going to have to make exclusive extra content for your PPVs. Now that can be an exclusive picture package, that can be an exclusive video, but please guys, it's not going to be a 1-minute video. So many of my newbie clients, they're overpricing stuff and you're just not being realistic about it, okay? You're not going to price a 1-minute video for $25. An exclusive PPV, you want to make it kind of worthwhile. They're getting a deal, should be at least a 5-minute video if you are going to price it at that point, which I will get to pricing shortly, so don't worry about it. But that is how you are going to be really able to get conversions, okay? Conversions are unlocks, and some realistic conversions that I give my clients. This is something that a lot of people overlook and they overthink. In sales and in marketing, I've been an online entrepreneur now for over 8 years. There is conversion rates, okay? It's basically the ratio of how many customers you have to how many sales you get, because unlocks are sales. Your fans are customers. Business mentality, guys, you got to switch it up because this is a business and you have to treat it as such. So if you have 10 fans on your page, if you get one unlock, that is actually a very good conversion rate, okay? So you have to understand that. And something I always say to my coaching clients is that you have to understand that these are real people, okay? Not everyone is online every single day. Not everyone is even online for a week at a time, all right? So you have to also keep this in mind, and you just need to focus on what you should be doing in your business and on your page, as opposed to hanging on to every single fan that walks through the door, okay? So make sure you kind of understand that. So for your PPVs, again, outside of maybe the locked posts on your wall, if you have a free page, is going to be sent out in a mass DM, and it must be exclusive content that you have made outside, again, of your welcome message or your locked posts. Now let's get into some pricing with your PPVs and what is deemed reasonable. So I like to call this kind of the sweet spot. And it's what I go over in my coaching calls, and it's going to be extensively in the course as well. I am just going to be giving you a rough range right now in this video so you guys can get an idea of how you feel like you want to be pricing your stuff. But you cannot price your things too low, because if you start undervaluing your content, people and fans will start undervaluing it as well. But if you are unrealistic, like that example that I gave you, that you're going to be sending out a PPV that's a 1-minute video only for $25, you are also now pricing it too high. What would you rather have? One person that may unlock it for $25, or 10 people that are going to unlock it for $10 or $12, right? So you have to be realistic about the pricing when it comes to PPVs. Now, picture packages are going to be a little bit less than extensive exclusive videos, okay? But for a picture package, it's not going to just be 2 pictures and you're going to be charging $15. You are going to want to, again, entice them and be reasonable about it. So for myself, what I deem as a picture package should be at least 4 to 6 pictures. Now, depending what kind of content that is in this picture package is how you are going to be pricing your PPVs on OnlyFans, okay? And even on Fanvue, guys, this works universal for all of these sites. So a picture package of anywhere from 4 to 6 pictures, and it could be even more. This is just the baseline, okay? You are going to start that price at least from $8 to $12. I think anything less or anything more, you are getting in that area of undervaluing or not making any sales, or not making the amount of sales that you possibly could, okay? Now, that does not mean that you should not send out some lower price PPVs and some higher price PPVs. And again, I go extensively over this in the coaching and soon to be course. But you also want to make sure that you are sending out things that are going to also kind of reach every type of market, okay? So you should play around with the prices as well. Stop overthinking everything and start testing things out in your business, okay? Everything in a sense is trial and error in the beginning. And with any business, you test something out, you do it for a week, you see how it works out. If you're not getting the conversions you want, you scratch that, you start something else and you test it out and you see how that new thing works. And if something is working for you, you never stop it, you double down and you continue doing what's working for you so you can double down or really double up on your conversions and money. All right. So please keep this in mind. Now, let's get into the welcome message. Even though that's technically not a PPV as some people think of it, it is still technically a PPV because they have to pay to view that content and it is exclusive content. My free page models, you should always have locked PPVs in your welcome message. They're already getting on the page for free. You should not be giving anything else away for free. So in your welcome message, you are going to have a PPV in there as well. And again, it could be an exclusive picture package that they're not going to see on your wall. They're not going to get in the mass DMs or anywhere else. And you are going to be locking that as a picture package or again, an exclusive video. And you can use the price range that I gave you. Now, in welcome messages, pricing wise though, I do always tell my clients, because they subscribed, you want to make them feel special that they subscribed. And I'm air quoting a lot of stuff in this video. You want to give them a deal, okay? Customers love a deal. Look and think about how you as a consumer behave, right? It's about, 50% off, right? A BOGO sale, 20% off, or because you're an exclusive member, you get this, you get X, right? It's the same kind of concept. So in that welcome message, you should be saying, thanks so much for subscribing. Because you subscribed and onto my page, you are getting this exclusive piece of content for 50% off. Unlock it now, right? So you want to make sure that you are going to give them a little bit of a discount, but you're obviously, again, not undervaluing your content and you're not pricing it too high. But even my models that have a paid page, I still want you guys to put paid, a PPV content, locked content in your welcome message, okay? But the difference is that it is going to be, again, even of a lower price than you would for a PPV because now they just paid to get onto your page, all right? So please keep that in mind. With a free page, absolutely your PPVs, and you need to make sure in your welcome message you are doing that as well. But you can price it at a reasonable price. A little bit more on the higher end if you per se. But for a paid page, you guys are still going to have locked content because you want to make sure that your page is always optimized to make the most money. So why not have some more exclusive content there? But something that you would have sent in mass DMs as a PPV for $12, you'll put it in your, welcome message for $10. So that way they're getting a deal because they just subscribed and they're getting the deal for being a subscriber and a new subscriber on your page. So now let's talk about how often you should be sending out PPVs, okay? PPVs is not like a one time, a one and done, and then you're like, okay, great, now I'm going to make all this money on OF. This is a business. This is a continuous grind and hustle. So this is not something that you're just going to do once in a blue and then hope that you're going to be making money and every single one of your fans is going to see it one day or not, okay? This is a hustle and a grind. But how often you are sending out PPVs to your fans depends on the size of your page, okay? So you kind of have to use, I don't want to say common sense, but you have to kind of just put on your thinking cap and be like, okay, if I only have 5 or 10 fans on my page right now, I'm not going to be driving them crazy and sending them PPVs every single day. But if you have 100 to 1,000 fans or 1,000 to 30,000 fans, you are going to be sending them things every single day. But let's get into some realistic numbers. If you have anywhere from 10 to about 30 to 40 fans, you're going to be sending out at least one PPV per week. And this is going to be new content. From 40 to 100 fans, you're going to be sending out at least 2 PPVs per week, okay? And you can switch it up between picture package and video. Now, if you are anywhere from 100 to 1,000 fans, you want to up that up to 3 to 4 times a week. Now, again, I know I've said it plenty of times in my coaching and in the course, I go over what you should also be doing in the interim of all of these PPVs. But for this video, we are only discussing the PPVs. Then after that, if you are anywhere from over 1,000 to 10,000 fans, you should be sending PPVs 5 times a day. If you have from 20,000 fans and more, you should be sending PPVs almost every single day on top of everything else that I am teaching in the course or with my one-to-one coaching and mentoring clients, okay? So please keep that in mind. It is not a kind of one shoe fits all, because there is different dynamics and things that just kind of go into play with different pages, with different fans. So you have to understand that this isn't a one size, one shoe fits all, one size fits all. You know what I'm trying to say. You have to kind of use, again, put it on that thinking cap and just look at where your page is at, how active your fans are, and then you can go from there as well, all right? But those are a very good range on where to start and how you should be doing things on your page as it grows, okay? As your page grows, the activity on your page should grow. You should be growing with your business, interacting with your fans, and everything else. So if you have any questions, comment down below, reach out to me on IG if you want any of my services. And if not, join that course if you are serious about growing your OF, but you're on a little bit of a budget and you can't get to my one-to-one coaching and mentoring. That is where you guys want to be, okay? Until next time.